Has climate change had any impact on your operations?
Impossible to know. I think climate change is something that is very, very long term. From our point of view, what we see on the farm, we see no impact in the fact that I don't see water temperature change, big swings to the hot or big swings to the cold. The last 3 years, the water has been really cold. The year prior to that were really, really hot. I had a lot of disease issues on the farm in 2012 and 2010 because the water was too hot. Now the oysters are happy and growing fast because the water is cool. I think the variations are long term, so it's hard for us to see the difference. Also, I've challenged a lot of my friends and a lot of people who dive here in Fiji to try to find in Fiji one bleached coral. And nobody so far has come back to me. We'll have dead coral, but dead coral because of overfishing or people stamping on them or stuff like that. But caused by hot water, I haven't seen it yet. The local environment is still really nice, pristine, really beautiful. I just don't see the effects, and I don't think we're going to see the effects for another many, many years. Not for me on the pearl farm. I would like to say, like everybody, that it's the end of the world, but for now, it's not the end of the world for us. So it's looking good for us.
How would you rate the health of the water in the reefs here in Fiji?
Extraordinary, fantastic, marvelous, incredibly nice. There are a few issues. Some of them have been addressed 5 or 6 years ago by the Ministry of Environment. We have a minister at the environment who's not really worried about the money side of things, but he's really worried about the environment. He has this close at heart. So 5, 6 years ago, he's put a ban on fishing on the sea cucumber. They're very highly valuable for the Asian market, but when you remove them from the reef, you remove the vacuum cleaners basically who keep the reef healthy. And the reef of Fiji were in a bad health. And the minute he put that ban on the fishing of sea cucumbers, within 2 years we saw a huge difference. The reef looked very, very healthy. Life is coming back very quickly. The only problem we still have is overfishing for the local population who are fishing on the reef, so we don't have a lot of fish on the reefs. We have a lot of small fish, but we don't have big pelagic fish. But other than that, the health of the reef is absolutely beautiful. The other thing also is that people are getting more conscious about the environment. It took 30, 40 years before we got there, but now everybody's talking about it. And me personally, I see on the pearl farm a huge difference where we're on the windward side of the island of Taveuni. And we're on a private estate where the beaches are private, so nobody have access to those beaches. And we're on the beach spans about 3 kilometers, and it's shaped like a funnel. And being on the windward side of the island, all the plastic that floats at sea ends up on that beach. So when we arrived here 10, 11 years ago, we couldn't walk on sand. We were walking on piles and piles and piles of plastic, diapers, clothes, sandals, nets, floats, name it. But with time, the other countries on the Pacific, the people who live there, start to get more conscious about their environment, and we see the result now. I can go on the beach now and walk for hundreds and hundreds of feet without seeing nothing. So what we see now is coconuts, piece of wood, algae, stuff like that, natural flat sand, but we don't see plastic like we used to anymore. And it's been a slow progress, but it's a sure progress. We see a huge difference there. And with the ban on sea cucumber, I think the only work that Fiji needs to do now is just to control better the fishing of the local reefs by doing a bit more aquaculture also to feed its population. But we're almost there. We're almost there because it looks really, really nice here underwater.